You are listening to Hmong American Buzz.
I wanted him to just grow up and to have the power that economically he can do and have whatever it is that he wanted to have. So when we created this business, it wasn't about money. It was just, I wanted my son to just believe.
Hey, how's it going, Aaron?
Alright, let's just go because for the audience to know, this is our fifth time recording the intro and my internet is bugging out.
Yeah, so for the audience, this is our fifth or sixth time recording because of Aaron's faulty internet.
Alright, so we're gonna make this intro short. So who we interviewing today, Stu?
Alright, I like that. So for today's interview, we are interviewing Marsha and Aniki. So their mother and son business run ice cream bow ties. So if you do not know what ice cream bow ties are, they're bow ties made out of either Lego or some other cloth that's bow tie made. And the ideas are inspired by the son, Aniki, and the mother, Marsha. They have a really interesting story because Aniki is a really young boy. I can see a very bright future of it ahead of him just because he has a lot of creative ideas on what kind of bow ties he wants to make. And I like how his mother, Marsha, encourages him to keep on using his creative outlet while she works on other stuff for their business as well.
Alright, let's get on to the interview then before something else happens.
Alright, so let's not wait any longer and let's get on to it. Hey, Marsha and Aniki, how are you two doing?
We're good.
Glad to hear. So, before we start, can you two share? Let's start with Marsha and then Aniki after. Can you share with the audience a little about yourself?
So my name is Marsha Magdalene, and I reside in the Twin Cities, Minnesota. And I like to call myself as a mompreneur, very busy mom, and also an entrepreneur. And so my son and I own a neckwear company called Ice Cream Bow Ties.
My name's Aniki, and I have a business, and I like to do productive stuff.
Okay. Aniki, how old are you?
12.
With Ice Cream Bow Tie, how did you two get started with that business?
So funny, today, about 4 years ago today, Aniki made a bow tie out of Legos. And as an only child, that was the only activity that his dad and I would be able to get him to sit still for long periods of time while we kind of like just did errands or, did other stuff. And he one day was like, "Mom, look at this." And he showed me a bow tie. It was cool. I took a picture of it. I posted it on social media, and it was like cool. It wasn't actually until the next year when he actually got a new, I'd say like a Lego set. And in the set, there was this specific piece that put everything together, and it had two holes in the back. And so he then showed me again, and he was like, "You have to really look at this." We posted it on social media, the prototype that he made, and then he got like hundreds of likes, and people are like, "Where can we order this?" And that's really kind of how it got started. It was just, through creativity and play, and then we launched his neckwear company called Ice Cream Bow Ties.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I did see the Lego picture bow tie on your page on Facebook as well. It's really creative. Like when I was Aniki's age, I would never imagine doing that kind of stuff with Legos. Yeah, so what Aniki did is really creative, and I give him props for that. So Aniki, How did you come up with this bow tie with Legos?
I was just digging around like in the Lego box, and then I just created it one day, and my mom just said, "Wow, that looks really neat. You should use it as a design."
Did you wear bow ties before that at all, Aniki?
Yeah,
Oh, so are you like a bow tie fan?
yeah,
Ah,
kind
okay.
of.
So when I was younger and I wanted to become a fashion designer. So, culturally, as Hmong people and just, culturally, our parents would always tell us, right? And you guys could probably attest to this, that we should always look our best or we should always look presentable. And so that was just something that I've always really instilled in him, even when he was very young, to just always look the best and, dressed well. Dressing well is a form of manners, actually, by Tom Ford. And so it was just really important to look that part. And so when he created the bow tie, it really helped to understand how to just dress better, look better.
That makes sense then. Yeah, thanks for that short background story.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, who came up with the name Ice Cream Bow Tie?
Me and my mom was trying to start an ice cream business, but we was too busy and that would take like a lot of time. So we just made this business. She said, "What do you want to name this business since people like it?" And I said, "Ice cream bow ties," because the bow ties have different colors, like different flavors.
Like ice cream.
You're creative.
How long ago did you two start this ice cream bow tie business?
2 years. This one is 3.
So it's 2 years going on 3 years.
Got it. Okay. Your business so far, how has it impacted both of you mentally, physically? Have you been more busy than usual?
Yeah, I don't get a lot of sleep. I think, a lot of people don't necessarily see like the behind the scenes, the work that you really put in with anything, right? A lot of times we just kind of see the results of it. And for me, it's a lot of networking. It's a lot of creative thinking. It's a lot of marketing. And so behind the scenes, I'm really busy. This really has impacted my life in a way where it's allowed me to be very creative. Most importantly, also meeting people. And I think that's the fun part about this. For me, the most important thing about the journey of ice cream bow ties is really seeing my son develop into this whole new person, and in a very positive way, and just inspiring, a lot of people, not just young people, but a lot of people. And I think as a mother, that has really just been kind of the highlight of what keeps me really grounded, is to see his growth.
I gotta meet a lot of new people and got a lot of new networks so I can, like you guys.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah. So, Marsha, do you also work another job?
I work full time as well, and then I do have other businesses that I've started too. So I'm just really busy, aside, of course, from being, his mom, and then also managing and running ice cream bow ties. So it's very busy.
Okay, so 2-point question for me. One, do you guys hand make your own or each individual bow tie? And 2, what materials do you guys use? Because I'm looking at the picture and some of them, they look like actual Legos.
Yeah, since Lego is like a trademark thing, we don't call it Lego, we call it brick bow ties. And we used the real Lego pieces because when I started off, that's the type of material we keep going. We make things by hand, and we got fabric bow ties. We get specially made from the house.
These looks really, really creative and innovating. I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do the both of you like best about your business?
We have this social enterprise that falls under ice cream bow ties, and that is called the Youngpreneur Workshop with Aniki Allen. I think what I really love about ice cream bow ties is that we're able to teach other young people that your creativity can lead to your own business. and just really seeing children, like when they're done with the workshop, they're just super excited and all these different ideas. And I think knowing that it goes on forever, or that they're inspired all because of this, one kid that started playing with Legos, is just so inspirational in its own way. And so I think that's just really important, because entrepreneurship in business is not taught in like our modern education now. And so I think it's just really important that we continue on that. And so for me, that is one of the best parts of our business.
I just got this. I just like my mom, but like when she talk about the kids and stuff, like I like to see people, and not only kids but grown-ups, smile and have a smile because they have their kids telling them ideas about business and like telling them about games or like other stuff like that. And I feel like that's really cool to make people smile for my product and something that I created that anyone else could create, like a business, but they came here just for me, so that makes me real happy.
At the beginning, were you guys a little hesitant on launching a ice cream bow tie? Because I know that a few years ago, people don't really like to wear bow ties, but then now bow ties becoming more and more in style today.
It was never a hesitation. To know that we've accomplished so much in just the last 2 years of actually being in business is just like monumental. And we've done a lot of stuff just in the last 2 years. And I think for me, it didn't have anything to do with like the market or the name or the niche. It was just really, honest to God, just to create something with my son. A little bit about myself. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My parents were entrepreneurs, my grandparents. My grandmother, was the dopest businesswoman alive, and I learned a lot from her. And so it was just something that was instilled in me, and I really wanted my son to have that, because he's not only Hmong, but he's also Black. And so I wanted him to just grow up and to have the power that economically he can do and have whatever it is that he wanted to have. So when we created this business, it wasn't about money. It was just, I wanted my son to just believe in that he can do anything he wanted to do. And that was it.
That's good.
Yeah, I find it really fascinating, intriguing, I guess you could say, how the culture, our Hmong culture in general, affects what certain people do on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the Hmong culture affect what the both of you do?
I want my son to fully embrace who he is, because, again, he is Black American. His dad is, born and raised in Chicago, and I'm Hmong, born and raised here in the United States. And so knowing who we are is very important. One of the things that we launched last year, December 2018, is our Hmong collection. The Hmong collection are bandao bow ties. These bandao are made from villages in Southeast Asia exclusively for ice cream bow ties. And we're very proud of them because it depicts history in a wearable art form. And so when people wear it or when people see it, that's a moment where whoever is wearing it is able to share the Hmong people and the history of the Hmong people and why we're here. So it's very important in our business because that's who we are.
Interesting. So I'm just curious, if you two don't mind sharing, how did you guys find these places to make bow ties for you?
I have a sister-in-law that has connections, and so she just has connections all over Southeast Asia. In this village, I can't even pronounce it, but it's in Laos somewhere. And so when we requested for them to make it, they made it specifically, so they just actually come. They're not assembled. They're just basically the needlework, and then when we get them and they ship it to the U.S. here, we have to hand really craft and sew everything together. So basically all they're doing is just the pattern, the needlework for it. And then I either hand craft it myself and assemble it, or I just outsource it to someone else.
So
Oh,
essentially,
okay.
they make the cloth and then you cut it up yourself.
Yeah, so they make the cloth, and then yes, we assemble it ourselves. Yeah.
And then when you say we, is it just you and Aniki, or do you guys have more people working with you?
Yeah, so it's just me and Aniki, and then I do have Po, yeah. So she's like an auntie that I outsource a lot of my sewing to. I don't really like to sew as much because I gotten older. So we outsource a lot. So like she usually does like if I assemble everything, she just pretty much finishes it off for us.
So you say you guys do it by hand?
Yes, yes. So just imagine when you look at a bundle, right, and it's
Yes.
hanging on the wall, it's not finished at all. This is just actual, all you see is just the needlework. When we get it, we still have to fold it, we still have to cut it, we still have to sew it in its own form. We don't get a finished product at all. Then we still have to put our labels on it and everything. When we get it from Laos, it's just basically the bundle.
Okay, yeah. When I say by like, do you actually do the traditional old school way of by knitting by hand, or do you actually use a machine for it?
It's kind of both.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes down to the creation of it, it is actually both. So there's
Okay.
parts that you can use a machine just to, make sure that it's tough. Then usually with the finished product of the last stitch, all of that is usually by hand.
That's a lot of hard work right there.
It is, and it's amazing how like when you look at it, the bandao itself is already hand stitched, right? And
Yes.
it's the finished product of it. So there's a lot of moving pieces to just creating just one Hmong collection bow tie. And so it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it because it's a showstopper. A lot of people are like, where do you get that? Or, because there's not a lot around.
So would you say that your hands are pretty conditioned to this? Because I did a little sewing a few years ago, and my hands and my fingers get dead tired after just doing it for like a few, like 10, 15 minutes. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't feel my fingers anymore. This is really
Yeah.
hard work.
Yeah, so Aniki is really good at a lot of the brick. He'll create something in a few minutes and then we'll just replicate that. When it comes down to the sewing, I do it too, but for me, I feel like it's so time consuming that sometimes basically I assemble the bow ties and then we just outsource it and someone just finishes it for us. But if I have to finish something, I will, but we usually outsource the finished product.
No, very interesting. So, speaking of what you mentioned earlier about Aniki making these designs, Aniki, how did you come up with these?
All throughout the world and just my thoughts of like what do I want to do next.
Do you also look at other bow ties and maybe tweak it around to your own design as well?
No.
So to add to the Aniki, so when you come up with these ideas, you think about it, and then do you draw it out? Do you put it together in Lego, or do you just tell your mom, I like this idea, this design?
Kind of like technically like I'll make it by myself and then I'll ask my mom, do you like this? Like, should I use this bow tie? Or like, should I use this design?
So you build all from out of Lego then?
Yes.
Yeah, so we usually do like monthly trips to the Lego store. And then what happens is like we have tons and tons of like pieces. And so usually what happens is, they're gonna always put new pieces out and we'll just grab a few and then usually what happens is he just really just all he does is just kind of puts it together, his designs. And we'll both agree on it. Sometimes I'll say that's kind of weird looking, or that's kind of, not the season of the style or whatever. But everything is just like his creative. Everything that is, that's ever been listed is just something that he has created.
So roughly, can you estimate how many Lego pieces you have? Because they can add up.
A lot. We have a room specifically and that's just his studio. And
Oh,
then,
wow.
Lego,
Okay.
yeah,
Lego room.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't expect that. That's dedication right there.
Yeah. We have it in small like hardware drawers, by the pieces, and then but there's Legos everywhere. I mean, we have 4 that are file drawers that are just full of Legos. That like just I can't even tell you how many pieces we have, but it's a lot. It's a lot of pieces.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you always remind Aniki to clean up with himself.
Yeah,
Because
no,
I hate stepping on Legos. They hurt.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I have Legos everywhere in my car, in my purse, the kitchen. I mean, the bathroom. Like it's everywhere. But we've accumulated, pieces since he was very young. So as time progressed, and me buying and we ordering it online, it has accumulated to a lot.
Also, Aniki, besides bow tie, is there anything else you like to build with Legos?
Oh yeah, just like some creations and like different things. Oh, like cars, like towers, or like buildings, like humans, like
Yeah.
but like as Legos.
So what's the biggest thing you ever built with all those Lego pieces? Like a house, a castle?
So I just added up Legos together and then tried to touch my ceiling.
Oh wow,
Wow.
okay. That is insane.
It's the great thing with Legos is that and this is actually something that we launched that was part of our spring summer collection 2019 collection was customizable bow ties. So usually we would just kind of sell a bow tie, but for the spring summer collection we added all these like small pieces, and so they're interchangeable. So maybe you have a wedding and you want to put flowers on it. You can do that. Maybe you want to change it up and just do bricks, or maybe you already have your own Legos and you want to just add it on there. I think that's something that a lot of our new, clients are telling us, or customers are saying they love it because they can change it. It's not just a regular bow tie now. They can switch it up. And so when when you become creative, you can kind of think of anything with it, or you can add. We've had some where we've added minifigs to it, like the little mini figurines, or for our bow tie exhibit a year and a half ago, we drew on it too. And so it's just whatever your heart desires, pretty much.
Can a customer request for like a custom one then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So they can. Customers, we get them all the time. They'll say, hey, I want, this color, and then we'll just make it and take a picture and send it to them. Our goal this year is to really revamp the website, to really refocus on the branding of ice cream bow ties. Because our overall goal is to reach Lego and to get a licensing contract with them. So we're going to make the website a little bit more interactive, where it's user friendly, but people will definitely reach out to us and say, I want this color, or can you do this or whatnot. And so we're really excited about that.
Wow, that's a very bold future goal right there.
I mean, that's the only goal.
That's a good goal to aim for.
It's the only goal. Yeah, there's only one. That's just our only goal. Aside from, us providing and having ethnic or cultural bow ties, right? I know a lot of friends, when they travel out the country, they bring fabrics to us too from all over the world. And so we wanted to definitely start with the Hmong collection, and eventually, look into some other unique fabrics and really kind of be known for that too. But there's an end of how it started, and that's through the Lego pieces. So our overall goal really is to, reach Lego.
So I'm looking through your Facebook page, and it looks like last month you guys are into a competition.
We were. Do you want to tell them about it? It was called the so there's a neighborhood in Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, called Powderhorn. And every year, I believe this is their second year, they do a Shark Tank event. And there's 2 categories. There's one category that is for existing businesses, and then the second category is for new businesses. And so we actually were one of the 7 finalists for the existing businesses, and we were up against 7 other people for $2,500.
Nice.
Yeah, and so it was a really good experience. We weren't ready for that, but it was a really good learning experience. Do you want to share with them a little bit about it?
I learned a lot of different businesses that I didn't know, and I learned different people and more connects and the judges.
What did you learn about you, though, by not winning this competition?
I learned that I should always be focused no matter what happens or what do I go through.
So you're referring to Shark Tank. I'm assuming there's a panel of judges, right?
Yeah, so it's not like the actual Shark Tank, it's like a community Shark Tank. And so, yeah, there are a panel of judges, some of small business owners. I believe one was through like US Bank or, just all over the board. And so they pretty much judge you on your presentation. Is your product marketable? Is it feasible? And so it's just a smaller mini version of the Shark Tank competition at a neighborhood scale. And so it was a really good experience, although we didn't actually place at all. But it was a really good experience as far as preparation for any other competitions. And for Aniki, because he's still so young, but like I told him, I said, this is not going to be your first loss. So he was really bummed out, but at the end of the day, it was a really good experience for him.
That's a really good learning lesson, Aniki. So keep your head up always.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And on top of that must be really nerve-wracking too to display all of your creation in front of people and having to actually judge it.
Yes, that was really difficult.
But everything is a learning experience,
Yep.
and then you'll just continue to get better the more you do this.
Thank you.
So what would you two say is the hardest part about your business?
Probably getting to get myself out there. Yeah, the marketing.
Oh yeah, that's always hard.
So cause I wanted people cause when you first make a business or make an idea, you should you really like it. You should actually let people see it first. Cause if nobody actually sees your company or sees the idea that you have, it's not really called an idea or a company. That's why you need the marketing and the business and the people that can help you boost you up.
Wow,
Really
that
good
sounds
advice
like
right
a
there.
future CEO right there.
That is some really good advice there, Aniki, because a lot of people, they have ideas, but there's always that fear that what if somebody doesn't like my idea, and then they never actually take the next step forward. That's really good advice right there.
How about you, Marsha? What's the hardest part about this?
Time management.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, just finding time to fit everything for every aspect, right? Not only am I his mom, I'm, a manager to him, I'm co-founder, a lot of stuff. So for me, it's really just time management. And how I do that is just keep a to-do list. I don't always accomplish everything, but it's really helped me out just to kind of keep me grounded.
No, time management is always the hardest. If there is one thing, time is always time is money. That's what they say. You can never take back time.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just so important because you want to meet so many people and you have all these ideas and sometimes you feel like there's not enough time in the day, and we're not at that level where I can pay someone or something like that to do other things. And so time management for me is the number one thing. So I just have to get really good at that, managing my time.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
So for some of these bow tie, are they strictly clip-on bow tie, or do you actually have to do the traditional way and tie it on?
So all of our bow ties are pre-tied. When it comes down to the Hmong collection, they're all pre-tied.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually have not went or dive into the pre-tie, the ones that you can tie, but all of the ones are pre-tied, and so they come with they have a neck band Our new Hmong collection right now that we're working on they're going to be clip-ons. So it's going to be a little bit more universal for both men and boys versus just the bands. But we will eventually start getting into a lot more of the different fabrics and different styles and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not complaining because tying those things it's really a pain. I like the clip on because it's fast, it's easy, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And so for me, I'm a very I like things very symmetrical. And so even like we have a lot that we've made that are not symmetrical, and I wouldn't want to sell it, but I've learned that with ties, that's the uniqueness of it. That's the unique of it. And also, a form, again, dressing well, again, is a form of good manners, right? So a part of being a man, I guess they say, growing from a boy to a man is learning how to tie, not just a bow tie, but an actual tie as well, too. And so eventually we want to, do something around that, and then we'll most definitely launch our regular ties.
Would you guys say that you're just gonna stick with bow tie from here, or do you plan on expanding to maybe actual tie in the future?
I think for us right now, anything could happen, but our main focus right now would be bow ties. We'll probably do some accessories, like we've made some Lego lapel pins in the past before.
Nice.
And then I think, maybe looking into socks, men's socks or boys' socks. And then maybe, just some other accessories. But right now, our main focus would probably just becoming really good at bow ties.
Okay, yeah. It's better to focus on one thing at a time anyways.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't hurt to look in the future, though.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone who wants to start their own business?
Create something that you drive for. Like if you could, even if like you have sports, you can like create a business. Business can be anywhere. You just gotta know when to do it and what time to do it, and you have to have patience and effort because it's like you love the thing that you do, but you also have to have the time and the pain and all the feelings to have with that business because you gotta go through all those feelings first before you get all this success and wealthiness and business pride.
No, that's beautiful advice right there.
Yes.
A lot of people, they want to make money quick in business. That's not how it is. It's going to be a grind. And then most people, they get discouraged and they quit right away. So that's beautiful advice up there, Aniki.
Thank you.
Where do you two see yourself 5 years from now?
I see myself a lot older and a lot wiser. Oh, yeah, and the business. I actually see the business probably, maybe, just maybe, I'm focusing on it to have my business in a store.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because if I get my business in a store, I feel like I'll be like a lot more open. So like if kids and families want to volunteer or like help out with new stuff and new ideas, and because mostly the kids, the reason why I do this is because the kids, and I feel like kids will help more because it'll be a cool activity for them.
Nice. I like that. Creating your own brick and mortar store. That's really nice.
So 5 years from now, again, I think for me, from the marketing business standpoint, when it comes down to our business, I would like to see ice cream bow ties in retail stores. Just kind of like how they sell Lego sets, I would like for us to be in Target and Walmart and pretty much anywhere where Lego is being sold. So we have a lot of work to do still. But right now, we're definitely having a lot of fun. We're growing. But that's going to be our only goal is to get a licensing contract with Lego.
Okay.
That would be amazing if you can get a deal with Legos.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of research, and honestly, all it really is, you guys know with media, social media now, it's just all about following. And so that's where the creative part of, I have to figure out on of it. So I think rebranding and just revamping and just kind of looking at what works and what doesn't, the marketing side of things, I think will really get us closer to that. And so we just have to really get our following up.
Oh yeah, that's a daily grind that we have to go through.
Pretty sure Aniki would be on cloud 9 if you guys get sponsored by Lego and just unload box and box of Lego every month.
Yeah. Then I'm retiring, So
You need another room.
right.
So with that, we're gonna advance to our famous lightning round. So our lightning round consists of the same 3 questions that we ask all our special guests. So are you two ready for this?
Yes.
Question number 1. Where will you go for a vacation spot and why?
Myrtle Beach.
Ooh.
Because it's actually relaxing and I've been there before with my mom.
So I'd say Thailand. I've never been there, but just seen all the beautiful pictures and of course the street food.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always see my sisters watching those those YouTubers that try those street food in Thailand.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question number 2. What is your favorite book that you have read so far?
I forgot the name of it. You can answer this one now.
I do a lot of I don't necessarily have time to read. It's bad, I know. But the last book that I listened to and has become one of my favorite that I really kind of am re-listening to is by Gary Vaynerchuk called How I'm Crushing It.
Yes, I actually read this is a short synopsis about that book a couple weeks back.
So it's been definitely one of my favorite right now.
Gary, he's a really good content creator. He shows us what he does on a daily basis because he has his own business that he runs too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And honestly, I don't care if people say audiobook still counts as a book. 2019 audiobook.
Right.
Okay. So question number 3. What is one thing that you cannot live without?
My ear, because it represents me and it represents like my product in everyday life because I grew up with this and I'm gonna stay with it.
All right.
So I know this is bad, but it'd probably have to be my phone. So my son's looking at me and he's going, it's supposed to be me. You're supposed to say you can't live without me. But it would definitely have to probably be my phone.
Yeah.
But one person that I can't live without, of course, is my son.
There you go.
Yeah.
1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Okay. So where or how can people reach you?
My business on Facebook, icecreambowties.com. No, Ice Cream Bowties.
And then your website?
My website, icecreambowties.com.
And then Instagram?
Aniki Allen or Ice Cream Bowties.
So let me just repeat this. So the website is www.icecreambowties.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, which is icecreambowties_, and then also follow us or like our page on Facebook, which is Ice Cream Bowties.
Okay. And we will also link all your social media and website on our website as well. So for our audience to find you guys.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you so much, the both of you, for spending your evening with us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be on your show. And we are super excited on what you guys are doing and connecting, not just, Hmong people, but allowing other, the world to find out about all these great people that are, in the Hmong community. So thank you for that.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, thank you.
If you like this podcast, then please share this with your friends and family. Also, please visit our website, hmongamericanbuzz.com, for more details as well as links to our special guests. Last but not least, please subscribe to our podcast to get the latest episodes. Thanks for listening.